Very recently, I was doing a consultation, and somebody brought up the fact that in one of my videos, it's a fairly popular video, it's the video about angels don't really like to work with us, where I state exactly that. However, this person was reading books about how angels are beings of love and light, and they like to work with us. So, I want to address the elephant in the room and address the love and light that is involved with all of the kind of modern conception of spirituality and why I disagree with it. So, I am Dave the Amateur Magus. On this channel I talk all about the mechanics behind ceremonial magic, occultism, esotericism, and the mechanics behind everything you can find within a dusty old grimoire. If you enjoy what I do here and you want to support the channel, link in the description of the Patreon. We have a bunch of Patreon exclusive videos, Patreon live streams, and the Occultic Manual series, which is a monthly write-up that I aim at being more instructional than what I have here on the channel, but less unapproachable than some of the old grimoires I like to have on the channel. If any of that sounds of interest to you, link in the description. Hope to see you all there. Now, when it comes to the way that I present the material involving the occult, I don't like to sugarcoat things. I don't like to pull punches. I try to present things as they are. And when I was doing this consultation, I was asked, like, hey Dave, other sources say the angels are here, like, specifically for us, and they're, you know, they're like loving, and they're very, very positive beings, but you say the exact opposite. And I want to just take a moment and address this, because I want you to think about it like this. You're an angel. Right? You are working directly for God. You are working for the highest good in the entirety of the universe, and you know this. You know that you work with the highest good in the entire universe. Yes, there's angels below you, and there's humans below you, and there's angels above you, and then there's Michael, who is like the bestest of all of you. But you know deep down, that you are doing the highest good you possibly can. And God has given you a rule that you have to work with humans. And you know what? One day you get evoked by John Magus himself. Magician who is initiated into multiple different traditions. Person who has done a lot of work, finished the Abramelin, and his HGA has given you the thumbs up that this is a cool mortal who is doing his job and his best in order to do all of the things right. And you want to work with him because look how cool he is, look how dedicated he is to the Most High God. And then, a different day, or maybe the same day at the same time, you get evoked by somebody who is actively just asking you, an angel of knowledge, for money and bitches. Who are you more likely to be favorable to? The guy who's actively trying to seek holy knowledge for potentially he's trying to learn knowledge about how to heal people, even. Let's make it really obvious. You know, the one guy who is a magician who is actively learning how to heal people better, or the guy who is a complete fucking burnout who all they do is smoke weed all day, and they found Grandpa's grimoire, and they called you up, unfortunately, due to the luck of the draw. And then you end up having to deal with this guy, and he's just like, yeah, you're like an angel, right? Can you give me money and a new girlfriend? My current girlfriend is cheating on me, I think. I haven't seen her in like a month. And little does he know they broke up when he was high, right? This is a very, very hyperbolic story. God, I hope it's a hyperbolic story, but this is a hyperbolic story, and this is to demonstrate what I was talking about, right? If you take the average person getting into the occult, a lot of them are disrespectful pieces of shit, right? A lot of people, when they get into the occult, they don't want to learn how to be a better person, because being a better person kind of fucking sucks. Let's be real. Becoming a better person blows. No one likes doing it, but we have to do it. Everyone wants to be a bodybuilder, but no one wants to lift no heavy-ass weights, right? That's what it is. And this is what I'm talking about when this is what I'm trying to get across when I'm doing these grand sweeping statements. If you look at the average person, a lot of people are going to fit in the average person category. It's what the fucking average person term means, right? Now, a lot of people who are in the occult will come at it from one of two perspectives. They will come at it from a very skeptical perspective, or they will come at it from a very love and light perspective. Now, the love and light perspective is primarily peddled by people in the New Age community, though it has spread to the witchcraft communities, I've noticed, over time. And what it means is, what a love and light perspective is, it is a toxically positive worldview that believes that everything in the spiritual plane is just ultimately better, and everything is good, and there is nothing bad, and it is just the material plane that has bad things going on. Right? And I would like to point up at the sky, especially given that I'm recording this around Halloween season, and I would like to point out that there is an entire 30-degree sky section that is dedicated to things dying and changing. You know, for every zodiac sign that is associated with something purely good, there is a zodiac sign associated with something objectively terrible, right? Like, we usually like to think of the sign of Sagittarius as being the sign of truth, despite the fact that it's a lot more than that. But Gemini is viewed as the sign of duplicitous, backstabbing liars. But it's also communication. There is no objectively purely good things in this world. And the number one example of this that I like to give is I once got a comment that was very, very upset with me about the way that I was explaining the concept of love. Because I believe I said something to the effect of love is also pain. Now, what I was specifically referring to in that was I was specifically referring to the fact that one of Venus's emotions, the emotion of Venus that she rolls over, is pathos. Specifically, that is a painful emotion. It is emotional release of some description. And, you know, this is what I meant when I said love is pain. But I want to give a better example, because I've had a lot of time to sit on this. I want you to imagine, dear viewer, that you are trying to learn about the concept of love. And in order to do this, you get a dog. And you love this dog. It's the best dog. It's a little doggy. And you raise the dog, and you keep that dog, and you love and you care for it for 10 years. And one day, you go through, and out of nowhere, the dog dies. It can get hit by a bus. It can die in its sleep. Doesn't matter. The dog is dead. Are you gonna be sad? Are you gonna be sad, or are you gonna be super happy that the dog is dead? Still. Like, super happy that the dog is alive, and then super happy that the dog is dead. I would say that you have something wrong with you if you are super happy about this. And this is what I meant. There is a cost for all of the happiness. There is a shadow side or a negative to all of the happiness. Now, some people will argue that, oh, well, that's not really love. That's being sad at the absence of a thing. That's still part of the relationship. That is still part of the relationship. The only difference is determining, are you the person who has to deal with that debt, or is the person in question the one who has to deal with that debt? In this case, if, you know, we know that some dogs will, like, wait for their owners every day, you know, in the same spot that they used to, even after their owner passes away, right? That is a thing that has happened. We have documented that, and it's a very tragic thing. It's also the source of drama in the most depressing Futurama episode. But when you go through, this is what I'm talking about. So, I want to just make this very clear. On this channel, I try to tell it straight. I don't view things as much from a love and light perspective, though I do sometimes give that credibility, and I do like to talk about things in a very blunt and to-the-point manner. That is why a lot of the material that I talk about here is going to sound a lot more brutal than it is from other occultists and a lot of other practitioners. The way I describe this channel is a mechanics-first approach to the occult. I don't try to get feelings involved with it. I try to get it as, here is what we are doing, here is what occultists do, here is how we do it, and here is why we do it. I don't try to get into the moralisms. I don't try to get into the deep facts about, oh, well, this is actually how this works on an emotional level. I try to just shove all that to the side and just tell you how it is. So that is why a lot of the times I will just go through and explain it that way. There's a lot of things that the occult will teach you that if you come at it from a love and light perspective, you will just get screwed over. And this is where the demons come in. But that is for next video. I have been Dave the Amateur Magus. Hope everyone is having a good day. If you're not having a good day, hope your day gets better. Take it easy, take care, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.